Good day, everyone, and welcome to Journey of the Anointed with Mr. Buzz. So, I have a very profound talk to give you today. An experience, my whole night last night, when I came home, I was really excited I was going to make a video about my experience last night, but I ended up seeing 666 on a video I watched, and that threw everything off, so I put it off till today. So then, of course, I had another experience with that number 666 this morning and made another video about that. But now I am going to talk about this, being given my spiritual glasses. And it reminded me of a movie called They Live, in which Rowdy Roddy Piper, I think that's how you say his name, Rowdy Roddy Piper. He's the main character in that movie called They Live, and he comes upon a box full of sunglasses, and when he puts them on, he can see for real. He can see things for what they really are, without the veil, okay? Well, kind of was given those last night. It was a really profound evening in every sense of the word. It's another step in my. I want to change calling it a spiritual journey to a spiritual journey and awakening. Okay, so Denza Mose, what he always refers to is the spiritual awakening. It's a spiritual journey, yes, but he always includes that it's a spiritual awakening. You are awakening a little bit at a time, and there's different levels you hit, and you'll be given access to certain things at certain points. He speaks of the spiritual glasses. He speaks of this all the time. I had spiritual glasses to a point already. I can see certain things in people. I can see people that don't have souls. I can see people who have demonic issues. I can see fake instantly. I'm really good at seeing fake. If you're not authentic, you're not going to get by me. I've always been real good at that. But I didn't realize how limited my spiritual glasses that I had were until I got real ones last night. So, there's a lot to be said here. First of all, I'll let it be known that I was struggling really hard to keep my faith in the process, to keep believing that the Lord was going to bring me out of this miserable, lonely existence that I've been stuck in for 9 years. I've literally been stuck in total isolation for 9 years. That's a long time. Unless you've done that, it's hard to imagine what it's like. I mean, I have no family. I have no friends. I've had some friends over. I'm not saying I've never had a friend over the last 9 years, but they're friends that I see once in a while, and they come by and then they disappear, and I don't see them again for a long time. I don't hear from them. I've got friends who call themselves my friends, but I haven't hung out with in 6 years. I mean, that's not really much of a friendship, right? And I've had some online friends that, they come and go, but I haven't had any meaningful relationship in 9 years since my wife left me. That's a long time to be totally isolated. And I was struggling, trying to believe the Lord is going to come through soon and open a new chapter in my life and help me get out of this. Because it's not as easy as people think. I got some suggestions yesterday. Well, just do this and do this and do this and everything will be fine. It's not that simple. I don't just go to a church and everything's fine. I don't just join a walking club. There's no walking club here anyway. Walking clubs in Kingston. No, there's none. Nobody does that, okay? There's lots of occult networks I could join. I'm in a demonic town where everybody's a witch or a warlock, and they're all into black magic and witchcraft and nasty stuff. That's the kind of place I live, and it's a university town. So most people aren't even my age. It's a very difficult town to survive in if you're someone like me. Okay, a Christian my age, single, this is not the town for you. It's terrible, and I've been trapped here for 19 years. I don't have any way to get out of here because this living situation I'm in is really good, and I'd never get this anywhere else. So because of this, I've had to stay. And people don't understand these things. You know, if I was to leave here, to go try to find a place where I can afford, I'm not going to get a house like this, that's for sure. So I got to stay here until I figure out how to change it, right? I'm kind of trapped. Thus, the struggling I was doing. The Lord took me on a journey last night. I want to say actually the angels did. First of all, it was it's St. Paddy's Day celebrations going on. So everybody walking around with their big green hats and, the leprechaun stuff. And they're all people drinking everywhere. It's a university town, Queen's University. So not just a university town, but a university town with a prestigious university where rich elite kids go and act any way they want because their parents have just donated $3 million to the hospital and there's a wing named after them and blah, blah, blah. So they can do whatever they want and they know they'll get out of trouble, which literally happens. Some of these kids have set cop cars on fire. They've just done horrible crimes. Not a thing happens to them. Full pardon the next day. They walk out of the police station. Nope, their parents just came and got them out. Oh, he's my son. Oh, we're sorry. We didn't know he was yours. We never would have arrested him. That's literally the way it goes in this town. Okay? Not a regular place. It's a really evil place where I live. So I'm feeling rejected by everything, by the whole world. I feel alone. I feel isolated. So the Lord said, you need to go and walk around town tonight. You need to really see what's going on. I want you to see it all. So I did. I walk every day anyway. So I went for a long cruise around, and if you want to see bad actions, bad behavior, come to this town on St. Patrick's Day or whenever there's any kind of celebrating going on. Young people, young overprivileged rich people, and alcohol. Ooh, what a combination that is. What a combination that is. Actually, they don't need the alcohol to act badly. They act this way all the time. But on a day like St. Paddy's Day when they're all around and there's no more rules. The cops don't even bother. The cops stay away. They don't even come in. They just let it happen. Because if they get in there and start arresting people for doing certain things, they can have a riot on their hands next thing, and they usually try to avoid that. So whatever goes on just happens, and no one says anything about it. People are urinating all over the place, and the behavior's really bad. So, I walked around, and I looked at it, and I had the most profound experience. All of a sudden, and I'm going to say the angels. I don't think the Lord himself took me on this tour. I felt like I was taken on this tour by angels who told me, look, your doubt and your stumbling lately, we had to plead your case because you can get thrown out of this game. You can get thrown right out, and we had to plead the case for you to keep you in it. And they've agreed that for certain reasons you are being given a chance, which is very interesting because the night before last, I had a dream about this rich man who took me under his wing for a little while in the dream, and his name was Chance. That was the guy's name, Chance. And he had an arcade, a personal arcade where you could go and play all the pinball and stuff you wanted, and he took me there. And that was in response to me saying, I can't play this game anymore. Then I have a dream about a guy named Chance. Yeah, taking me to play games. You get what I'm saying here. Very profound stuff. Then I'm out there watching everything go on last night everywhere around me, and the angels are saying, you feel rejected, you feel isolated, you feel everybody hates you, and no one wants. Look around you. Do you want this to include you? Do you want this world to make you part of it? You're not part of it. Be glad you're not part of this. Look around you. And I did. And I couldn't help but agree. Wow, am I glad I'm not part of this. Because it's so juvenile and so, it's pathetic. To be quite honest, it's just an evil, terrible world. And being shunned by it, I should be celebrating it. That's correct. I should be. But I said, okay, I agree with that. But shouldn't there be a little piece of something for people like us? Like, why the total isolation and just total loneliness? Like, just bone-crushing loneliness, which is what it has turned out to be. Like, look, you talk about this secret society that's all around us. I've made videos about it. The evil ones, they're sworn to secrecy too. They're not allowed to speak of it. They have to keep everything a secret that they're up to. And the fact that they, like when the pandemic happened, a whole bunch of them knew what was going on completely. They lied and just pretended it was a surprise to them too. It wasn't. Some of them were in on the planning of it. They know all about it. They know all about it. And there was even plots where the jibby-jab things, well, certain people don't get those. They get saline solution and whatever. They get fake ones. This was all done right under our noses. Okay, so this secret society. But the angels reminded me, they said, you know what? There's another secret society. It's the one you're a part of. And we're letting you know a little more about it this evening. And I had this very profound realization. I knew at that very moment, I'm on the street as this is all happening, okay? I'm on the street watching all this goings on, terrible actions with people, and being very grateful I'm not part of that, but still feeling that loneliness. And then all of a sudden, I realized I'm being watched right now by my secret society. They're all around me. They're with me. And for the first time, I really felt their presence. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. This goes even deeper. I'm going to get into some more deep ideas here in a second. I know for sure now that this is kind of a game. It's kind of a game. There was a movie called The Game I mentioned before. And it's a game that takes place in your life that's happening day to day. It's just, you think it's your regular, but it's not. It's a game you're involved in. All these things are being put in front of you. You're being tested in different ways. All this, that's what this spiritual awakening is, okay? It's an obstacle course like no other. And it's being watched. There's spectators like you wouldn't believe. All kinds of them. They are placing bets on us. They are... Well, here's the most profound insight that I was given last night. A lot of these videos that say your true love is coming. Your true love has been chosen and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Just wait a little while and, the universe is going to bring this soulmate to you. And you see them quite often in my, I do in my feed. I'm told all the time by a video that my soulmate is watching and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this was the newest one. A billionaire saw you now and is interested in you. There's a billionaire who saw you and is watching you and is very interested in meeting you, may want to marry you. And I'm like, who's making these videos and saying this stuff? Well, then the angels gave me insight into something. And this, you don't have to believe this or not, if you don't want to, but I'm telling you, this is profound insight that I know I can count on is true. There are a bunch of very rich, successful, spiritually advanced human beings who want a chance to marry an anointed, chosen one. And they've been selected, okay, and approved by the Lord himself. Yes, you get a chance at one. Yes, you get a chance at one. And they're all watching us. And they're all like, okay, I'm interested in that one. And they get to say who they're interested in. And then there's matchmaking going on, and they can be disqualified. No, that one's off limits to you. That would never work for this reason, blah, blah, blah. Or, yes, that one you just said you have interest in, that one's a possibility. Let's take it to the next level and check it out. And this is how it's being sorted out. Our soulmates, our partners. I swear to you. Sounds wild, doesn't it? Did to me too. Hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, whoa. Those messages. All the messages I saw on the thumbnails of the videos, they suddenly made sense. Spiritual glasses. This was really wild. The angel said, we have more than material provisions for you. Your breakthrough is coming. Your stuff is coming. The things you want are coming. But there's spiritual things coming to you first. These are the best gifts. You think the material provisions are the ones you really want? No. These are the best gifts, what we're about to give you right here. And I'm walking down this really busy street with a bunch of drunk university people. They're celebrating. They're all out of it. They're all smoking weed. They're just, it's mayhem, total mayhem all over the place. And I suddenly had this profound insight into everybody that walked by me. There was one couple walked by me. This guy was really eager talking to the girl walking beside him. She was this young, pretty thing, and she's so annoyed by him. And there was no indication of this. I just, as they walked by me, I knew everything about what was going on. I knew the whole thing. He's too eager. He doesn't know when to shut up. He talks too much. He's annoyed her so bad all night. She's wishing she never went on this date. And I heard the whole thing was, I knew it all. And I mean, I knew it for sure. It wasn't a guess. I was allowed to see all of that. Then another couple goes by. Really big, muscly guy. He's like captain of the football team sort of guy. And this extremely pretty girl with him. But she's a total airhead, and he's only dating her because she looks good. And she's only dating him because of status when you date this guy, because he's the dude. And he actually can't stand his life because he thinks that nobody sees him for who he is. And I'm allowed to see all this stuff. And I'm like, whoa. Like, brings tears to my eyes thinking about it, because it hasn't gone away. This is a gift. I don't know if you call that, I don't know if it's the gift of knowledge, or I don't know what it is. Intuition. It's an intuition that's, whoa. Whoa. Two young girls, arm in arm, lesbians. Not really. I saw them coming from a distance. They were in their early 20s. These are all university people. This is a university town. These are all university people that I'm talking about. These two girls, maybe 22, 23, arm in arm, showing each other some physical affection. You can see they're a couple. As they got closer, it's like neither one of them's really into the lesbian thing. They're both doing it because it's fashionable, and they both have secret fantasies about guys that they're not telling each other, and like the whole thing was clear to me. This is what I can see when I'm around strangers now. And it just continued. Everywhere I went, it didn't matter who it was, I knew the whole story about them, everything. It's like, whoa, I'm going to have to get used to this. It's just wild. It's just, and the angel said, see, there's things that are so beautiful and useful, and you can serve such a purpose that you don't even understand. This is what the Lord put inside you. We're just activating it. And they said it was because I was stumbling so hard that this was given to me a tiny bit early to pull me back, because I was struggling hard. They were worried I was struggling too hard. And they gave me something to reassure me, to help me keep the faith in the process. Because they admit it's, for me, the process has been long. It's near a decade, and that's a long time. That's a long time to isolate somebody. There's been longer. They've isolated people for 15, 16, maybe even 20 years. They have, but it's usually people who can handle it a little better. To isolate somebody like me who hates being isolated for 9 years is very difficult to do without losing me. They understand this. So, they've given me a little something to make me feel useful, and to also make me realize what I'm a part of. When I had those insights, I thought about how I could help every one of those people that was walking by me. I was like, man, if I had 10 minutes to sit with them, whoa, what I could do. It was like, wow. So I've mentioned that I'm supposed to be a prophet, but it's not actually a prophet I'm going to be. It's a seer. I'm able to see. I'm able to see things that there's no reason I should be able to see. It's very strange. It's very strange. It's this weird knowing all of a sudden. And it's vast. It's really vast. And it seems to be there for the taking now. It's just there. The angel said they argued hard for my case. And unanimously it was decided that, yep, it was okay to let me have this. So, watch the movie They Live. If you haven't seen that, when he puts on the glasses, he can see everybody who's actually a reptilian in disguise. He sees who the evil ones truly are. Take that a little bit symbolically, and you've got the truth, okay? There's glasses that can be put on. You won't necessarily see the glasses. They're invisible. But once you put them on, or once the angels put them on you, you can see. And now I can see. And I bet you a whole lot of you are going to be allowed to see like that too. Or, as Denza Most says, you're going to get some sort of gift. Remains to be seen what that is. All of us are going to get something. And it's something beautiful. No matter who we are, we're getting something beautiful. I've been given a lot of gifts in my life. I mean, physical gifts, a present wrapped up with a bow on top. You open it up, can't wait to see what's in there. Oh, look at this, thank you so much. It's a wonderful experience to get a gift, right? Well, this, to use the same phrase I use in other videos, this is a gift that simply surpasses all understanding. And the gratitude I have for this gift cannot be expressed. And for any of you who are having a hard time hanging on, please do your best Please do your best. Although the stumbling, I will say this and then I'll end it. The stumbling can be beneficial. A lot of what I just learned, I learned because I stumbled. And I really stumbled. I really stumbled. I actually fell, like, completely. Right on my face. And what I learned, one of the things I learned was that there was someone there to pick me up, which really means a lot. I'm grateful for that too. Be grateful for your angels. If you're one of those people that thinks that's just... I remember my ex-wife one time, it was the biggest insult to me possible. There was this survey that she got a hold of, and it was about Americans. She said, check this out, 53% of Americans believe in angels. And she's shaking her head like, imagine being an adult and believing in something like an angel. And I looked at her and I said, your husband believes in angels, so am I... And she just didn't know what to say because she didn't know I believed in angels. It's like, you got to be kidding me. I believe in God. Of course I believe in his angels. That's part of it. Like, she knew I believed in God, but she couldn't understand that I believed in angels. It's okay to believe in God, but don't dare believe in his angels. What? Sorry, but it's part of the deal. God's real and so are his angels. Absolutely. So she insulted me big time that day. But trust me, the angels are very real. Oh, yeah. And I don't know how many you got around you, but I know it's not one. I've got a whole team. And they literally pled my case. And they literally supported me. And they literally pulled me back into the race because I was on the verge of being thrown out of it. That's the truth. I was close. But I didn't get thrown out because my angels went to bat for me. So be very grateful for your angels. And I'm probably going to do another video on this in the near future because there's even more to say. But 27 minutes, almost a half-hour video. But I'm not surprised it's that long. There was a lot to say. We're in a game, and we're being watched. And people are cheering us on, and other people are not cheering us on. Other people want to see us fall. And God allows certain things. He allows them to throw obstacles in front of us. It's quite an obstacle course that we're going through. And as we get to each little checkpoint, we awaken a little more, and we're allowed to know more. You're on a need-to-know basis. And what you need to know, you will. And what you don't need to know, you won't. But you need to know this. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. The Lord of Lords. He's the King of Kings.